In this video, I'm going to show you how to enter your teacher loads. Right. So we're following up from our last video. We set up the whole workspace for the timetable, but now we want to enter our teacher loads. Right. So the first way is to get help from other teachers. Right. Instead of going to the teacher by teacher, asking them what subjects that you teach, how many periods do you need, and stuff like that, you can actually let them join into the workspace and enter their own loads, right, on their own. And then what you just have to do is to generate, right? So there's this school code which is on your workspace right here. So you just click on this button and you copy that code. So it will tell you that you have copied the code here, right? So this is what you send to other teachers that are on the Scheme Rangu platform, right? So once they have that code, they will log into their own account. Like I have another account here. Then these teachers don't need a timetable pass in order to enter the school code or join that timetable workspace. They might not even have any of these schemes, lesson plan, or any of these plans. They might just have nothing of this, but they just want to help create the timetable. So once they have the code, they just go here to new timetable here and it loads. So there's this section here which is written enter a school code from your timetable admin. So they'll just paste the code here and they'll click on join. Right, so it's now joining. So they've joined Karoi High School. Right, so it will tell them that your role is a teacher contributor. What they just have to do is to submit their load, and once the timetable admin is done and they publish the timetable will be just here where they can also download. So the admin does not need to send the timetable to everyone, you know, on WhatsApp or something like that, or emails. The teachers just download the timetables here. So it is telling them that they have not started their submission here. All right, so how do they actually do their loads, right? So there are two ways of doing it. Number one is to do it here manually, right? So first they select their class, right? Like here they can select, so these are the classes that we had set from the workspace for admin. So they can set form 1 here, and then they enter their subject there. So you enter English language, right? So they would say how many periods that they need. So they need 5 periods for this example, 5 periods. Do they need a double? No. Preferred days? No preferred days. And they don't need a special room like the ones that we have already set here. They don't need those. Any notes? No. But when are they not available? They might say I am not available on Friday, period 7 and period 8 on Friday, right? So that is one. And then they add, if they teach another class, they can say form 2, and maybe it's also English language, so they're teaching form 1 and form 2. They also need 5 periods there. None of these, and still they're not available on Friday, period 7 and period 8. So this is one way of entering, and once they are done with this, they just submit here. They click on submit load here, right? So that's one way of doing it. The other way is, let me just remove this, I'll just copy something here. The other way is typing something like this. So they can just type teacher Mr. Romoyo, form 1 English language 5 periods, form 2 English language 5 periods, unavailable period 7 and 8. So let me just deselect those for now. So once they type something like this, they can just paste it here and click on this button, read load, right? So the AI is now trying to understand what they have just written there. So it will tell them that it has passed 2 loads, Form 1 English language 5 period. That's it, Form 1 English language 5 periods and Form 2 English language 5 periods, right? So once they are satisfied with that, they just click on this button, use these loads, right? So the very same thing that we had done before, now we have those 2 loads, that Form 1 English 5 periods, Form 2 English 5 periods is now there, right? So it's just the first way, and period 7 and 8 where they are saying they are not available, it's also there, right? So once they're done with this, they can just click on submit load. So let me just scroll down, submit load there, and then just scroll up to make sure that it has been submitted. So it now says submitted there, and we're now waiting for the admin to publish the timetable so that it can be downloaded here. So this teacher is done. So imagine you have a school of 50 teachers, and they just do this. It's just a simple generate from the admin. They don't need to enter all this alone. So let me now go to the admin, right? So in the admin panel is the same method of entering loads, right? The admin can do it manually, or the admin can do it in a way that I have also shown you, right? So let me just do it this way. So the admin, when they're entering other teacher loads, right? Let me just scroll down to some of the loads that I have here. They can do it manually, but first they have to click on this button, new unlisted teacher load. Unless the admin themselves are also a teacher and they want to enter their own load, they just click on my load there. But here I'm entering new unlisted teacher load, right? So I'm just going to copy and paste these loads here. So the first one is from teacher Mr. Blessing Ndlovu. Yes, Form 1 Mathematics 5 periods, Form 2 Mathematics 5 periods, Form 3, you get the sense. And Mr. Ndlovu prefers Monday and Wednesday, right? Those are the days that he prefers to teach. So if I click read load here, and it's now loading, it will tell me that there's Form 1 Mathematics, then there's Form 3, and then there's Form 2, which is there, right? So if I say use these loads, they'll now load in. Remember, Mr. Ndlovu said he prefers Monday and Wednesday. Those are his preferred days, right? So once this is done, I just click on submit load, and that's done, right? So now it's telling me that I have 2 out of 10 loads. Remember, the teacher that submitted Mrs. Taro Moyo from her own account, and then Mr. Ndlovu that I've just added just now, right? So I can continue adding loads. So the different ways of typing and pasting these loads. This is another way. Let me just clear that, paste once. So this is, I make sure that I'm entering another teacher's load here. So new. So this is teacher Mrs. Chipo Dube. This is another way of typing it. And her load has special rooms, as you can see, computer lab there. And if I just click read load, it's now reading those loads. But it's telling me that some special room requests were kept as notes because no matching room is configured yet, right? So what probably happened is, let me just check here. Ours is written computer science, right? and here it's written computer lab. So that's just the difference there. So either I can change from here to computer science, but I think lab is better, right? So let me just leave it as lab and then say use, right? So if there is a difference there, what I just do here is then click this and then just choose computer science from this, right? And what I can even do as well is you can go back. Before I save this, I can go back to school setup. I can scroll down to my rooms, right? I can say remove and then I add science lab. Let me just say computer lab here, laboratory, and then I click on save school setup. Then I go back. So it's good to see these mistakes, right? So that you know what you have to do. So I've written computer lab, and if I now paste this, that error is now gone, right? So computer lab is there, computer lab is there. If I say use loads, it is now highlighting computer lab there, right? So we fixed that, and now I just say submit load, right? So now if I check, I'll see that I have 3 out of 10 loads, right? So as we continue, right, as we continue down with checking our loads, we now have who's left now. Let me just see. All right, we finished with Mrs. Chipo Dube. We are moving on to Mr. Simbarashe Nyati. So just check how these things are typed, right? Because you might tell your teachers to type them in a certain way. So you can type them in different ways. Right, so let me just use these loads. This one needs a double, right? So this one was different. So computer science form 2, they need a double lesson. Here they need a double lesson. So it is also included there. Once I'm done, I just submit load. And when it's done, I go back again. So this is when the timetable admin is adding everyone's load, right, on themselves. There is no help, so you can see that they're doing most of the work, right? Just say submit load there. But this is basically it, how you enter loads, right? So this is another way of typing. So it's just saying history form 1, and this 3 means 3 periods, this one 3 periods, this one 3 periods, right? So different ways you can tell your fellow facilitators how to write down their loads. So just take note how we are doing this. So I'm going to continue putting until I'm at number 10, but basically that's it. That's what you have to follow. And in the next video, we're going to continue on to checking the periods and seeing if it's ready for generation. But in terms of entering loads, that's simply what you have to do. That's how you enter loads. It is as easy as it's easy peasy, like I can put it that way. So see you in the next video.